Are you mic'd up?
Wait, so
I'm mic'd
does the
up.
thing move with you, like while you walk? Yeah, it does. Oh, that's scary.
Ew. Welcome back, everybody. Anybody see the video of me yesterday?
No. The video?
The videos of me yesterday from my President's Day celebration.
Wait, was it Abraham?
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah.
You guys missed out on my Abraham
I recorded you
Lincoln.
last year, and then on my Snapchat it comes up.
Okay, so I was wondering if you guys saw that last year or not. Shout out to President's Day. Were you guys thinking about the Gettysburg Address?
Yes.
Monday?
Definitely, yeah.
Yes.
I had practice one time Monday, so
So you guys were thinking about the Gettysburg Address. Shout out Abraham Lincoln. Sorry you didn't get that today.
Why not?
No, that's all I got.
Napkin still in there?
That's all I got. There's a lot of stuff in here. Anyway, shout out to President's Day. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys enjoyed the snow
No.
as well. And it's going to be cold this week, so get used to it. Big updates for me. Exciting stuff for me. I get to see Mrs. Click this weekend.
No.
Yeah, so we have a wedding this weekend, and so she's flying back for that, so I'm pretty excited about them. But it's actually kind of funny because it's her cousin's wedding, and I'm officiating it.
What?
You can marry
You can
people?
do that?
I would love to.
Yep, I can do that for sure. Yeah, so I'm officiating a wedding on Saturday, so that'll be exciting. I will not dress up like Abraham Lincoln. I promised them that. So I'm pretty excited for that, but obviously I'm a little more excited to see my wife. But yeah, gosh, I was trying to think of what else I was going to say with
I'm
that.
so happy.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Plus, it's obviously like an honor to like do that for somebody else. I realized that some of the wording gets a little weird sometimes because at some point I told somebody I didn't use officiating correctly because I said, yeah, I'm marrying Mrs. Click's cousin, and I was like, no, wait, I'm officiating her cousin's wedding. So I'm marrying her cousin and her fiance, but let's just stick to officiating. So that's coming up this weekend, so I'm super pumped about that, and I'm sure she will be excited to hear about you guys. So, yeah. But locking in for, no, wait, remember, I'm not locking in anymore. You know what we're doing now? Oh, my last couple of classes have been, my last class liked it a little bit. We're buckling in. Ready? We're buckling in, we're seatbelting in because today is a grind because we have stayed away from our teacher handbooks for a little bit, and we're going to get back to that with a new next step for our teacher handbook, which I'm excited about. So, our agenda's up here on the board. Noticing as we progress through our teacher handbook, we're kind of adding more things as we go through. Okay? Some things we already know. Of course, our topic, teacher handbook. Today, new topic getting into this, and Mr. Sims will kind of get a kick out of this, is depth of knowledge questions. Okay? We've been talking about this a lot in like some teacher meetings and stuff like that and PDs and stuff. So it's funny that this kind of falls into this. Our objective for today, what's an objective?
Something measurable that I can.
It's an I can statement. We write it in I can form. It's measurable, and what is the purpose of it?
Something they can achieve.
Something they can achieve by here, the end of the lesson, right? Now that could be a multitude of different things, but by the end of the lesson, I can analyze and classify questions based on their depth of knowledge from 1 to 4. So by the end of today, you're going to have a sample set of 10 random subject and styles of questions, and you're going to basically be able to classify them and analyze them into depth of knowledge 1, 2, 3, or 4. When you need a pin, that's great. Glad that's on the floor. Here, should I put it into my...
In your eye.
No, I'll do in my eye. Yeah, I'll do a little ear piercing. There you go. Look at that. Shout Shout out Chase. Continually. Okay, so depth of knowledge, we're going to be able to classify those. Standard. Okay, what's a standard? Not Sophia.
It's like a thing that a school has to follow from like a standard, like the whole state.
Yep, the whole state follows these standards. Okay, and some people we saw that some similarities into those objectives. We kind of created objectives from the standards because the standards are what the students need to learn by when? Yeah, by the end of the year, depending on the class, it could be even like semester, right? And that's a little bit different for different classes and stuff like that. And we saw all of the state standards that you guys did in this one, 7162.D1.4, right? You guys knew, yeah?
Yeah.
Good, okay. So ours are a little bit different for this class, but we stumbled perfectly into the standard. Listen how this lines up pretty perfectly. Demonstrate discussion and questioning techniques that promote critical thinking and problem solving. It's kind of wild how this falls into our depth of knowledge. Lastly, essential question. What's an essential question? Not Sophia or Wilka. What's an essential question? What are those? No.
I know what it is, I just don't know how to word it.
Try.
It's a question.
That's a question that, what?
I don't know, about the objective.
Okay, so it connects to the objective. What else? Is there a yes or no answer to it? No. Is it open-ended? Yeah. It can be open-ended, which what you'll see with ours today. Okay? In what ways can a question impact a student's learning? We're going to start with the essential question because teacher tricks. Starting with this open-ended question that can be answered multiple ways. In what ways can a question impact a student's learning? That's what we're just kind of having in the back of our head as we're like getting involved into the topics for today. Let me finish this agenda before we get into that. Okay? We're going to look at the lesson plan template. Oh my gosh. 5 weeks until spring break. Okay? So shout out. This is grind time. This is like we are getting to spring break, right? So 5 weeks until then. And obviously we're kind of like halfway through this week anyway. SAT is coming up. Lock in. No. Buckle in on the SAT. That's coming up here. 5 weeks until spring break. We can do it. Lesson plan template, we're going to look at this. I want to show you just some steps along the way. Yes, we got some notes today in our booklets. Yay.
I actually like doing that.
You like doing that?
I like doing
Shout out. A little bit more than last time, too.
Yay!
Okay. And then lastly, that's our depth of knowledge questions that we're kind of like achieving with that objective. We can do that on paper or on Canvas, and then we'll reflect all at the end. Okay? First things first, let's think back to what we did in class last time. While I put in attendance and hand out you your booklets, think of first of all, what'd you do last time?
When you wrote our thingies. Lesson plan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. For what?
Our lesson plans, and you did a lesson plan based on President's Day and what you could use in your future classroom with President's Day. Think back to that lesson plan. Think of one activity that you created for your lesson plan. Let me throw in attendance and hand out these booklets.
Think about what?
Think about what you did on that lesson plan. Think about one activity you had your students do.
Oh, you have it. Okay.
Think about one activity that what?
That you had your students do on that lesson plan for President's Day. I know it was a long time ago. It was like last Thursday, but it'll be all right.
I remember.
Oh.
For the teachers.
Thank you.
I never see them.
Miss Estes. This
That's me.
Miss Adams is.
I did not spill mine.
Let's go.
Is it page 7?
We're not opening it yet.
Well, when we do.
What is an activity that you had your students do for President's Day? Let's raise our hands. Wilka,
Teacher, we did,
I picked you.
we did timelines.
Oh, you did like a little timeline with some dates? Okay. Lily?
I had them explain what they would do if they were president.
Oh, had them explain what they would do. Okay, love it. Sophia?
I taught them how to make a research paper.
Ooh, research paper. That's the one on top that I actually see. Research paper. Okay, that's a little bit more intense. As we get into our depth of knowledge, you'll notice that yours might be, judging your activities, that might be a little bit higher on the scale. 3, 4, maybe. What else? Anybody else activities? Chase, I'm interested in your activities. Because you just, big president's person.
We got that question last time.
Apparently, like elementary school is like stop bringing up like those like living wax figure things where the guy came as like a historical figure explaining the story. I'd have them do that first.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's very cool. You're smart. I wouldn't have thought of that for sure. I really enjoyed going through those activities and hearing and seeing about the things that you would do. Sometimes it's good for us to think back to those, obviously for what we did last time, but also I added a little tweak to our lesson plan, and I made you do an essential question. I liked some of your essential questions of like how that made you connect some things together. I see a lot more connections of what we're doing on our lesson plans and why you're doing it as the teacher. Which reminds me, in our agenda, I'm just going to show you this on the board of like our lesson plan template, kind of like our long-term type of looking at of what you guys did, of course, is just a mini one. By the end of the semester, we're going to try to be able to complete out like a lot bigger lesson plan. As we continue to add these things, like we've done with this handbook, we did objectives. Well, now you can do that on your lesson plan. Then we did standards. We didn't have to do that one specifically there, but you could do standards. Then we did essential questions. So we're just adding the pieces to it. Does that make sense what we're doing with that? You wrote those activities in the procedures box. That's kind of what, like your procedures is what you're doing in class. So you're getting a big portion of this done is what I'm trying to show you. In your procedure section, you're just literally checking off, here's what I want them to do for 5 minutes when they come into class. Or I want them to, here just some other examples I had, like throughout, like I want them to pair up and then research a president and then be able to share out about that. You were writing that into the procedures part, okay? So it's good to see that, and I also like want to show you that of like why it's important what we're doing. Why this stuff is so helpful for you in this process, and then why today's section is important as well. Okay? So let's dive into some depth of knowledge questions here. Let's open to page, we're going to do 6.
Wait,
Back of 5.
We're going to do the back of 5. No, we could never do the back page. Oh, I don't know what I'm... If you see through, that's okay. You can just do it on 7. Here's why. Is because I would like page 6 because you might spill over into 7, maybe. Okay. Now, if you're going to do 7, you just might want to write really small, is what I'll say. I would like you to fit this in only here. What I had a thought of is writing depth of knowledge on, like across 6 and 7. I guess I should have done that on mine before. So I would write like depth of and then knowledge on the next page. Because I think you're going to have like, you might spill onto the next page. If yours bled through from the page before, that's okay. Just start on 7. But We might need 2 pages for this one, is all I'm going to say. How do you spell it? I'll write it up here on the board.
I put depth of knowledge
It's
on
right
page
there.
5, and then if I leave through, put the title again on 7, and then 6.
Yes. Promise I'm not a psycho erasing an already clean board.
There's documents.
That's what I'm saying. Those ones are just always there. My board is so nice, though, I will say. I'm thankful for that.
Oh, he's starting on his TikTok.
No comment. No comment on heights around here. Yeah, I need to. I have something to. Depth of knowledge. Now, I wrote out DOK because that's what we're gonna say it as from here on out. Depth of knowledge. DOK is an abbreviation, and I don't want you to have to write depth of knowledge for every single thing. So we're gonna use the DOK abbreviation. If you do it like, well, just whenever you get to that letter, just split it on the page. Okay, depth of knowledge. Let's get, now, let's think about our essential question first. Our thought getting into our topic of depth of knowledge. Now, it's weird because we're actually like talking about the essential question, and normally like in another class you would just say the essential question to get your interest into the idea. I'm doing that, the same thing here, and we're thinking of in what ways can a question impact a student's learning. There's positives and negatives to this. You could have a question that could negatively impact learning. Today we're going to focus on the positive side of things of how you can rephrase or create better questions that help students learn more and better. Here's my question for you to get us started on the negative side of things, though. Wasn't Abraham Lincoln the 15th president?
No.
Oh, you guys are good.
I don't know. 14?
16.
Sorry. Something like that.
Did you guys know what president he was beforehand?
That's
Yeah, we were talking about Lincoln earlier. 16th president, right? So that's big time. But how could that be misleading the way I asked that?
because you were saying it was.
Well, yeah, just the complexion of the voice. Maybe I'm nodding a little bit, but I'm kind of inferring the wrong information to you. But you guys, shout out you guys for knowing the correct answer of knowing that he's the 16th. Notice how a question could impact your learning. That's the idea here. In what ways can a question impact a student's learning? If you didn't know Lincoln was the 16th president, because I'm saying it in the way that I'm saying it, you might just be like, oh yeah, he's 15. And I'm sure some of us felt this in here as well. Some of us who maybe aren't as good at, or maybe not in APUSH or something like that, or maybe don't know so much about Abraham Lincoln or dress up like him on President's Day, or look like him if you shave your beard a certain way. That's just kind of the thought process. So that's what I want you to think about as we go through today. Why questions are so important for students' learning. Why the way you say questions and the questions that you ask are so important for students' learning. And that's where depth of knowledge comes in. All right, we buckled in.
I'm buckled in.
Yeah, I was doing like a roller coaster buckle in because we are about to grind. Okay, here's our definition for this. Starting off with some words here. A cognitive demand. What's cognitive demand, Mr. Click? Here's a good question. What is cognitive? Or what would this relate to? Not even like cognitive, like thinking, brain, head. If you're in that direction, you're good.
It's like you have to think.
Yes, right? So, a cognitive demand which I'm just going to put in parentheses to help us a little bit better understand that. Thinking, right?
I'll leave that part out.
Yeah, don't grade me on that. I should have actually fallen down. A cognitive demand, which is thinking. If I wasn't so short, I wouldn't need this. Might have to write a workman's comp for this one. It is a model, okay? This is going to be a long definition here, so let me just write this out and then explain it. Not on my tippy toes anymore. Okay. Holy run-on sentence, Batman. A cognitive demand model that considers the content and how deeply students should demonstrate understanding of it. This is important that we're writing this down. So it's a model. A model is like something that we're going to be able to use. I'm going to give you an example of the model of it. That way you're going to be able to look at this model and be able to achieve our objective, which is analyzing and classifying these questions onto this model. It considers the content and how deeply students should demonstrate understanding of it. So how deeply the students are thinking and how...
Your initials are on your shirt.
Shout out.
Sorry.
It means you're paying attention. Yeah, look. Wait, no, that's not my initials. That says NK. That's my first name's Mr.
Oh, no.
Should have put an M. It considers how deeply students demonstrate understanding. So if you can answer a higher level question, like a level 3, that shows your deep understanding of that content. My first question I asked you about Abraham Lincoln being the, 16th president, shout out, that's a level 1. You are simply recalling that info. Some of you guys, how much thinking did that take? Not very much at all, right? If you knew that, it's just recalling, boom. Okay? So let's just start there. I got to give some shout outs first. Shout out. Yes, you have to write that down. Tough luck. In 1997. So shout out Norman Webb. This is the guy that created this. I know it sounds weird that you're writing this down with it. One, we have to give him a shout out for creating this. 2, because sometimes you have people pairing it with this last name, Webb's depth of knowledge. That's what you'd see, especially more in college. This is a tough one. What is something else we did that might tie together questioning that had their name attached to it? Bloom's taxonomy, right? So like the name is attached to that one. So I like attaching the name to this one too. Also, 1997, I want you, no comments on this one for me and Mr. Sims' sake here, is that this wasn't that long ago, okay? Right? Okay? So it's not like this was just made up 1,000 years ago and it's outdated. This was not that long ago, okay? This is really prominent in teaching, of course, today. I'm going to write our continued thing that I feel like we've written down for each section of this so far. I feel like we've mentioned this every single time because we haven't, this is just the stepping stones. We haven't really gotten to assessment all the way yet. But first time we did objectives and we're like, yeah, we're aligning it with the assessment. Then we did standards and we're like, yes, we're aligning that with the assessment. I like using depth of knowledge as a bridge to help us align our objectives with the assessment. Okay? Your assessment and whatever you want the students doing or whatever they're doing at the end of the class or in this project or even on this test, we're using depth of knowledge as a tool to help the students achieve and do really well on the assessment. So we're kind of just building blocks from there. Guess what? One post-it note. Done.
Really?
How many more to go?
5.
4. 1 for 5. We're 1/5 of the way. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's keep it going. DOK. What does DOK stand for? Thank you. Totally understood it. This is what DOK helps us answer. Oh, I need to put a picture on the board for this one too. Almost forgot.
Wait. What's wrong?
No, I'm just going to put it up there. Wow, my handwriting is very neat today. Kinda. It's legible.
Is it usually not?
Sometimes. Okay, depth of knowledge helps us answer this question. What is the level of thinking for a student needed to complete a task? Write it however you need to. Some of that wording, of course, is just beautiful. What is the level of thinking a student needed to complete a test? Yep. You guys are way better off than me. You can write it into your own words if it makes sense a little bit more for you. But we're judging the level of how a student needs to complete a task. Level 1, what president was Abraham Lincoln? Boom. Okay.
I think it's weird because it's a question in the book.
Yeah, that's probably why. Okay, this isn't a perfect example, but where we're at right now, I think this will help us best as we're kind of looking at, I'll break down the levels a little bit more specifically. I'm going to ask you, this could still be a level 1 question, but it's going to make you think a little more. So it kind of makes you think into this, and I can kind of give some more examples of this. But who was Abraham Lincoln's vice president for his second term?
Yeah, one for his first?
He did. But we're not worried. Well, that's a level of thinking, right?
One of them was Kennedy.
No. So, here's the question. Who was Abraham Lincoln's vice president for his second term? I just want a name. It's not Jamal. It's not Julius Caesar. No, you know this answer.
Are you doing the inferring thing?
Andrew
No.
Jackson?
Okay, it's not Andrew Jackson, but
Johnson.
Andrew Johnson. How are you able to figure that out?
Because I inferred.
So it's hilarious that you said Andrew Jackson because notice this, it's weird, but notice cognitive, like what your mind is doing there. You're trying to put together these pieces and attach these different things as you're thinking through. Once Sophia heard you say Andrew Jackson, she was able to be like, oh my gosh, it's Andrew Johnson. Like that's thinking, okay, but sorry, I'm getting a little too nerdy on that, right? Why do you know that he was his vice president?
I don't.
What happens to Lincoln?
Because he was shot.
He gets assassinated, then what happens?
Then he goes.
Oh,
Oh, then he's the
well, yes, he does.
the president.
Right? Then the vice president becomes the president, and his vice president was Andrew Johnson. So you were able to think of the next president, like,
Boom, shakalaka.
okay, So level of thinking, notice how that level of thinking could get a little bit tougher. I could ask that question in a way that it would be level 2. It could be a level 2 question because it's forcing you to think about who his vice president was or the context of events that happened to lead this guy into becoming president. A lot of people might remember Andrew Johnson becoming president because of Lincoln. Now you're adding not just a recalling. You're adding the next step. Okay? So let's keep going. Oh, no, you know what? Let me hand you this out first. Oh, I didn't even put the picture up there. Gosh.
How come when the president gets killed, we don't trigger a special election?
What?
Wow. That's,
No, I was thinking about this over the weekend,
Hey.
and I was like, I need to remember to ask him that.
hey, depth of knowledge, higher level question. Right? Now we know what depth of knowledge is. Now let's learn a little bit more about the levels. Here is the model. No, not like. Sorry, that was bad. Not like modeling, like. Sorry. I was showing you the. Okay. So this is like the model that we're going to use. This is going to be a good resource to help you. Okay? Let's look at the top section. I understand that this is a little bit overwhelming because there's a lot of words, a lot of things going on. Let's think of level 1 because that's where we're going to start. Recall is where we're looking at. Level 1, recall. What are these words above it? Just in general, like what type of words are they?
Questioning. Calculating.
No. Like the actual type of word.
Yeah.
Like,
Level 1.
no.
Recalling.
No. No, like, are they adjectives? Are they...
Verb.
Verb, yeah. All right, thank God. I was starting to sweat there as I was like, uh-oh. Verb, question mark. Okay, these are verbs, right? Okay, when you write an objective, I can, your following word is a verb, okay? Think back to your lesson plan from President's Day. Did any of you use any of these words in your objective?
Yes.
Which one would you may have used? Well, okay. I can recall. I can't. I'm just thinking. I can identify 10 presidents.
Define.
So I know that one example was like a student had their students try and list 10 presidents.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a like level 1 type of like activity. I'm not saying good or bad, or like to try and get good or bad out of it, right? Because like it just takes time to progress through the different levels or do different things with different leveling, right? So I can identify or I can list 10 presidents. That's just recalling information. That's just level 1. Okay, let's look at level 2. Skills and concepts on the right side there. Look at the verbs next to that. What's a good one?
Estimate.
I can estimate. Notice how you're just taking the next step of thinking. You're not just listing 10 presidents. You might estimate
Categorize.
how many presidents are still alive. Because you'd have to think about the level of thinking you might have to do. Well, I could have to try and guess of who would still be alive, what years they were president, about how old they were when they were president, how many could be still alive into their 80s, 90s, whatever it might be, instead of just kind of Googling the information or whatever it might be. Shout out Jimmy Carter. Rest in peace. Bolu, we're missing Bolu for that. Okay? So, that DOK model is going to help us through today. Back to our notes here. What is DOK 1?
Recall.
Recall. Let's do recall.
It's like the parentheses.
Yeah, the one in parentheses. So, write this back into our teacher handbook. DOK 1 is recall. DOK 2 is what?
Skill concept.
Skills concept. Okay, So we're just listing these off just to get us into this. Depth of knowledge 3. Yup. Strategic thinking.
Extended thinking.
And then 4
Extended thinking.
is extended thinking. Extended thinking. So that model right there is going to be how we're going to be able to categorize different questions or even activities as we move through. Oh man. See, I told you I meant to put the picture on here.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. I feel like I should just put this this should just be our thought. It's like the thinking guy.
Is it Socrates?
Should I sit like this?
Yeah.
No. Is that Julius Caesar?
It's not.
The Socratic learning method, is that what it's called?
Socratic seminar.
Hey, shout out Socrates, Socratic learning. Okay, yeah, we'll leave some thinking thought processes up there. Okay, let's break down DOK 1. Can I erase the top? Yes, probably good, right? Good? I'll just do this top process. Just this first one. Definitely.
Knowledge on top.
Your book is just going to have
I
some.
know, I spelled my name wrong.
So, we're getting into the numbering now. Now we do like our normal note form. You know what I'm going to start calling this? Well, let me finish out this first one. Recalling info. Like facts, definitions. Oh, that's not how you spell that. Or performing simple procedures. As we look at these different levels, I want it to be, hey, guess what? Another post-it note done. 3 to go. 2 for 5. Almost halfway. While we're talking about this, I don't want you to think like, oh, well, in first grade, they just do level 1. That's not how this works. There's different levels for every year of schooling. There's different levels for every subject, everything like that. So I think what sometimes kids struggle with is math. Because 1 plus 1 is depth of knowledge 1. Solving the equation and finding what x is in 3x plus 5 equals 4,058, that's still level 1. You're simply doing a simple procedure. Just because you know how to do the equation isn't changing the level of it. Okay, so that's kind of just a weird thought process that I thought of from there. DOK level 1, recalling info, facts, definitions, or performing simple procedures. I need to start calling on some people here. Kaylee, give me a level 1 activity down here in the bottom left of this DOK model. Just pick one of those.
Label locations on.
Oh, I love that you picked that one. That couldn't have worked out any better. Gosh, that's amazing.
Oh, no.
Wow, that is incredible.
Alabama.
Big shout out. Somebody go point to Indiana.
Oh my God, you don't be ready.
Bang. DOK level 1. All right, Sophia, sit down. I'll do one more.
Texas.
Somebody go point to Utah. Utah. Let's go! Yeah. That was a quick get up and sit down real quick. No. Incredible. Why I was originally going to do Utah from the start, but I didn't want to I didn't want you to get overwhelmed because then you think it's too hard. Like both of those questions, level 1. You are literally just labeling it on a map. Now, that doesn't mean it's not as hard for different people, right? Is that like a first grader might not be able to list Utah. It doesn't change that it's just simply a level 1 question because you're just recalling information. Now, a 5th grader in Indiana should be able to label where that is, right? That's just level 1, just recalling, going from there. Dang, Dana, knowing where Utah was. Who else felt like they knew where Utah was?
Around there.
I thought it was up.
Okay, a couple people.
I thought it was that big square.
I know it's like a crazy connection too, but thinking about like the population of students that you have as well, right? Like if I have a student who is from, I'm trying to think of a really good example.
Vermont.
Rhode Island.
I have a student doing a presentation on Managua in Nicaragua, and she is from there. So, like, would she be able to label Utah on a map? Probably not, right? Just judging by, she would be able to label things in this map, potentially, right? But it's going to take a little bit longer. One, because she's still learning English and like all those different things that she's building through the education process of moving and immigrating to a different country and stuff like that. So that's just a really good example of thinking also of like the students that you are having. Okay, I have an example. I'm going to write an example for each different one. Here's Mr. Click's example of DOK level 1. You guys are going to be fired up for this.
Heck yeah.
Ready? What year was... Jason, don't do it. But I have to. I have to do it. I'm like I'm like the Green Goblin in that Spider-Man movie where he's looking at the mask and I'm like, what year was the Battle of Gettysburg?
1864. 65. Okay. So, no, that's when the amendment happened.
Oh, so close.
63.
So close.
I said 19.
As if I don't give enough examples of the Battle of Gettysburg. Here's my example. Your example, that question, pretty straightforward. You're just recalling that info, yes.
So what happened in 1865?
That's when the Civil War ended.
But wasn't one of the amendments like passed in 64?
Yeah. We got a lot. I got to buckle in on this. Well, I'll get you a history lesson later.
We didn't put put what year was Battle of Gettysburg?
Forgot a the in there somewhere. I got too excited. I got way too excited. So, we gave this example on our sheet here. Do we feel good about DOK1?
Heck yeah.
Let's get a thumbs down, middle, up.
Just a 5.
Okay, we feel good about DOK1. All right, perfect. On to 2. Let's go. Still buckled in. No. Okay, DOK2. Skills and concepts. Think of thinking. That's funny. Requires. Okay, it's requiring students to make some decisions as to how to approach problems. Yeah, again, weird wording. I'm trying to be patient. I might fall down if I have to get back on that milk crate. At my my brother's house, he has a couple toddlers, and they have like, have you seen those like little step-ups that have like the handles around it, like kitchen helpers kind of? That's kind of what I need in here.
My mom had to walk the fridge because I used to bite into unopened cheese packets and put them back.
Just
Mommy still locked the pantry.
Really, I really wish that surprised me.
Because I ate toast. It just sounds.
all right. We're finishing up here. Okay, Braylon, I'm calling on you next. Level 2 activities on the bottom of this sheet. Pick one of the level 2 activities and read it off to us.
Solve routine, multiple step problems.
Okay, solve routine, multiple step problems. I cannot believe you picked that one either. This is perfect. Here's my example. I want you to try this one on your paper. Like answering this one. Go.
I got it.
Do it on your paper. Graph. Y equals 2x plus 1. Yeah, just make a little mini graph.
Okay.
Do you want me to try? Had a student teach me this last class period. That way I was ready. It's just been a long time. I messed up the y-intercept. Is that what that is?
Why is that form?
Is it slope?
No, you guys slope there. What? Does anybody want to come up here and do it? Anybody want to try it up here? It's kind of weird because you got to draw your own graph. If I draw the graph, does anybody want to try it? Oh, let's go.
Is it math?
Are you sure? Let me draw my graph.
Yeah, that was not good. Let's do it, Braylon.
That's wrong.
What are you starting off with? What should Braylon start off with?
With the egg.
Hold on, it's the y-axis, right?
So 2x plus 1. I'd start with the 1, right? Where should you put that?
1.
Just up 1, right? Yeah. There you go. Yeah, put that dot right there. Now you can go from there, right?
What? 2, so 1 and 2. I'm still going up.
Mm-hmm. And then over 1. Rise over 1.
Oh.
Yeah. Put it over 1. Yeah. Yeah. And then just draw a line through it.
What's your arrow?
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Good work. So yeah, that's something that we probably haven't done in a long time. That's why I refreshed my training here. It's like just putting that 1 there, and then you have your slope, 2 over 1, so you go up 2 over 1. Boom. Maybe why I teach social studies instead of math here. Okay, so that's an example of our level 2 activity, and I'm glad that he picked that one, solving routine multiple step problems. 1, there's multiple steps to that. 1, you're figuring out the problem, but then you're also being able to graph it. DOK 3, buckle in. The car it was at a stoplight for a second. What's DOK 3 for?
Strategic thinking.
Strategic. Yep. There we go. Cinnamon. Is that
I think I'm
cinnamon?
gonna start a new page.
There we go. See? It worked out. Can start out on the next page. See, I like how we did that. Oh, hey, wait, guess what?
Another one down.
Another one. 2 to go. DOK 3, strategic thinking. Deep understanding. Through planning.
Wait, you're all too fast.
Sometimes I feel like I write too aggressively. When you hear it like hitting the dots on there, like I can't wait to get to an I.
Fine for you, it's your neighbor.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Klein's over there, like, what are we doing over there?
Miss Eastman.
Miss Eastman.
Mr. Click's mad over there. So, deep understanding through planning using evidence and cognitive reasoning. Oh my gosh, there's that word again.
Cognitive
Which is like,
thinking.
thinking, right? Wow, that's crazy. We came back and made a comeback.
I don't like this.
There's our back. There's a back to back.
I don't like the way
I'll leave the thinking guy up there. Okay, so that was 3. Oh, are we ready to? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kylie, you're up. List a level, or just read off to me one of those level 3 activities down there.
Identify research questions and define investigation.
Oh,
Is that the one you
I'm 3 for 3 right now of luck. 3 for 3 of luck. I like that one. Thank you, Kylie. Here's my example, because that's like a great reason. Now you can look up there at the level 3 here to see some of those verbs. Developing a logical argument, construct, compare, investigate. That was the verb that we see with level 3 here. Okay. This one's a little long, so buckle in. Bang. Okay, here's my example question for DOK 3. Research an invasive species and analyze how it alters a food web and balance of ecosystem. Could you answer that right now? Pretty quickly?
What?
Could you research in 5 seconds and get an answer for that? Probably not, right? That's, again, what makes part of these strategic thinking, right? You are researching not only just an invasive species, so one, you got to find an invasive species. Then you need to analyze how it alters a food web and then an ecosystem. Okay? Kind of wild. Do we even have any
I know one.
invasive? Yeah, what you got?
Can I see one? That's because I saw it on TikTok. It's like the snail eggs. They crush the snail. I see videos of people just crushing snail eggs.
Oh yes, I've seen them.
Like an invasive snail eggs on TikTok? Wow, shout out actually learning things on TikTok.
No, I've
That's
seen them.
amazing.
Like the
I know.
leaves.
Yeah, if it's accurate, that's the problem. But wait, but actually isn't that crazy? Like, then you see that, and then you're like, is this real? And that's where you're like level 3. Oh my God. Okay, anyway, sorry. What, any other one? The bugs?
I see like, I don't know what you call them, like lanterns,
Mayflies.
those are actually my fear. Like, I see those and I start like,
So, notice, we could take all of those things that you were talking about and then research if they are an invasive species to wherever they're at or wherever they are, and then see how it impacts food webs. I have an actual answer to this because I actually did this in one of my master's classes on the history of the American Midwest. And we read about Asian carp being introduced into like Midwest and close to the Great Lakes. They had this problem with algae, right, in these areas. And they're like, what if we bring this new fish from Asia and it eats up all the algae and it fixes everything? It's like, oh yeah, that works. But then what? Then how does this new fish impact the food web or ecosystem? All of a sudden, this Asian carp is a more aggressive fish, and it chases off the other fish that were living there. Well, now that fish that were living there, home to that place, now isn't being eaten by otters. Now what are otters eating instead? And how does that impact their ecosystem and their evolution of the animal? Yeah. Do we get why that's like a level 3? Yeah, the type of thinking and work that might be put into that idea. We ready for 4? I gotta erase more. Maybe I'll survive one more time standing up on top of this milk crate. This milk crate has been through it all, though, I will say. Yeah, that's probably what would go first, is the middle of it. I mean, it's been in here for like 6 years-ish.
6 years ago, I was...
What grade were you guys in 6 years ago?
11, 9, 6, 5th grade.
There you go. Think about you in 5th grade. And then
I was...
and then me over here standing on top of this.
I had a side part.
A side part. Oh my gosh.
I was Chucky and had a side part.
What's DOK 4?
Extended thinking.
Nice.
Sounds like a different one.
Okay, here we go. Sorry. I got a little too carried away. My marker is also running out, so
Maybe it's because you keep bashing it.
maybe it is. Maybe there is going to be no tip to it left. Extended thinking. Relate to other concepts. Comma. Devise. Somebody hit me up with the time right now.
1:55.
Yikes. We gotta go.
Okay, bye.
We gotta buckle in. I'm not saying we're gonna speed or break the law, but we're about to buckle in.
Hit a couple of run lights.
I hit.
Like, fly up.
Does that say other?
DOK 4, extended thinking. Extended thinking, relate to other. Yeah, that is a H somewhere in there, I promise you. Otter. See, I was thinking of otters. Other concepts. Devise many approaches on how a situation is solved. Maybe I'm missing an A in there. How situations are solved, you guys know. Okay. Many approaches on how a situation is solved. Okay. So like, there's probably not a right or wrong answer immediately. There's going to be different approaches relating to different concepts. Okay. Dana, give me a level 4 activity on this sheet here.
Don't let them know. Would you think if I let you down and down?
It's okay. I don't even know if I have one for this. Like these ones.
Describe and illustrate how common themes are found in class text. Wait, are you serious?
Okay, here's my example. First of all, here's my first question. What's my favorite book of all time?
Hatchet!
How far are you in it?
What's the example? Chapter 2.
Chapter 2, we're getting there. Greatest book of all time. Here's why. This question honestly fires me up. Like, Mrs. Click would be so proud as an English teacher. How? I'm gonna write this. I'm putting this in quotes only because I can't write in italics, okay? Technically, you're writing that research paper, books, italics, articles in quotes. Yeah. How do themes in Hatchet, such as This is the last thing, I promise. Challenges. Ready? Camera didn't see it. It went in.
You heard it.
It went in. Guess what?
What? Last one?
That's it.
Oh.
Nice.
Bang. We did it. Should probably go pick that up before I fall on that later. Or, I mean, it's in the trash can. Wait, hold on. Watch this, watch it.
You were going to go look in the trash can and see if, like...
I just was walking over there for nothing. Nothing happened. Okay. How do themes in Hatchet such as isolation, self-discovery, and survival apply to modern concepts of mental health and resilience in the face of challenges? Holy question, right? Level 4. What do the students first have to do in order to complete this question? Yeah, you got to read the book, right? So that's already a step in itself. Level 4 takes time. It takes a lot of time. But now, this is the coolest part, and I cannot emphasize this enough. This is the coolest part of teaching. If you, like, what level is that book? Like, when would students read that?
I don't know. Never
Wow, 4th grade. I read that a little later than that. But middle school, right? So you have this middle school text, and they can achieve this level 4 question. Once they read the text, they are reflecting on what this kid went through. What's his name?
There is no name.
Yeah. Oh, you
Has no
haven't
name.
gotten that far yet. Brian?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a name?
Spoiler alert, sorry. The plane crashes. Yeah, he does have a hatchet. Okay, so this kid now, while he's trying to survive in the wilderness, he deals with isolation, self-discovery, and survival. How can a kid then relate that back to modern-day concepts in their life, struggles with mental health or resilience in the face of the challenges that they face? Here's an example. If you have a kid who is able to compare this text, this character, with the loss of, say, their grandma, right? And being able to explain how this character in this text used these ways, these like ways of dealing with isolation. What's the word for that? Coping, there you go. What type of coping skills did this kid in this book do, and how you can relate that to the coping skills that that kid had when they lost their grandma? That's crazy, right? That's next level thinking. That's level 4, but also when I tell you that is the most exciting part of your job.
Is there a level 5?
No.
Oh, man.
No, we're done.
Right? Because you see how much that kid has learned just from that book. Just from this book about this kid with the hatchet that's made up. And that's why sometimes the English side is pretty awesome. Maybe Mrs. Click would be proud of that one for me. Okay. How do we feel about the levels?
Great, you feel awesome.
Okay, well, let's see.
So when is this start?
Okay, how much time we got? What time is it?
20 minutes.
Yeah,
It's 2.
It's 2? Oh, I don't know why I just keep you. Oh, we're good.
You say that.
What are you talking about? I would keep that book out, and I would keep that model out as well.
The timer on my
You gave us an extra paper.
thinks we've only been here for 29.
Yeah, it's only been 20 minutes.
You gave us an extra paper.
Oh, you can keep it, bring home to your mom, and she'll love it. You can teach her about it. Yeah, put it in the fridge.
Oh my god.
Hey, Mom, I made this at school today. Why does it look photocopied? Okay. Back to our objective. I can analyze and classify questions based on their depth of knowledge from 1 to 4. Now that you know what these depth of knowledges is, you are going to try to classify them and analyze them into what you think. Again, we have our essential question up there. Can intentional questions drive better learning? Here are your instructions. For each of the following questions, analyze and classify the questions into the DOK levels. Also include your justification why the question is at that level, like including the verbs from the handout from today. Hey, verbs, yay. If you find a verb on here, it helps you decide which level you're at. Now, question number 1. Let's not even think about the equation. But okay, let's adjust this. I'm going to write up, I already threw out my marker. Let's just write 2x plus 5 equals 152.
Where?
I want you to actually, let's just calculate this one, just for fun. Just for funsies. 2x plus 5 equals 152. I know that it says some other things on there. Let's just cross those out. 2x plus 5 equals 152. Let's do some math. Shout out, go. Under question number 1, there is a long, what's that?
Minus 5 on both sides.
Hold on. 2x plus 5 equals 152.
Minus 5 on both
So just cross out the equation there. Put 2x plus 5.
Oh, I thought it was all.
Lily, you with me?
Cross out the whole equation.
Yep, just cross out the equation. We'll make it easier. Because I don't want to distract you in it being too hard of equation and then you impacting your levels of DOK. 2x plus 5. What should I do first?
Minus 5 on both sides.
Minus 5 on both sides. What's 152 minus 5? Who knows? Shout out Braylon. Thank you for saving me on that one.
Bring 2x down.
2x equals 147. Now I'm going to divide by 2.
Boom. Shakalaka.
X equals what? 73 and a half. Okay. Now, I'm just giving you the example. You don't actually have to write out all of the, answer these questions. Now, what level DOK is that?
That was level 1.
That was level 1. Why?
You're just solving.
You're just solving. It's what did we say for level 1 in our notes? Recall info like facts, definitions, or perform simple procedures. Now, could a first grader do that? No, but it doesn't matter. It's just level 1 because you're just doing a simple calculation. So, write down just a big number 1 in there. And then I also wrote next to it, let's do, I just wrote calculate.
Is it open-ended? It could be a different level?
There's arguments for sure, right? There's definitely arguments for sure. We're going to try and, I tried to make them pretty clear on which ones they are. So I did, on level 1 up there, I saw calculate, right? So I wrote 1 and put calculate. Does that make sense, what you're doing? So for question number 2 now, explain how the Industrial Revolution changed the economy of the United States. You do not have to explain the Industrial Revolution. I just want you to put it into the DOK levels, okay? So rank this, use this sheet as your help, and do questions 2 through 10 into our DOK levels. Go.
What does synthesize mean?
You're about on the same one. Which one are you looking at?
Number 4.
What did you say?
Level 4.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, I thought you said number 4. What?
But never mind.
Whoa, wait. What
Just
is
look
happening?
at the level 4 on the depth of knowledge thing. What does synthesize?
Where do you see that?
On the chart.
Synthesize.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. You're asking what synthesize means? Or you're just, you saw it and now you... Oh, so you saw it on the worksheet? Wow.
So you can't tell me what it means?
Just give me a second. Let me finish.
I already have 2 of them.
Let everybody finish, and then I'll, because everybody's gonna have that question.
Yeah, there's back.
Oh.
I definitely
You
have
didn't-
all of these wrong.
Go to the back.
These are definitely not right.
Couldn't you argue all of them are then?
Well, I have level 2 for 3 of them on the front.
Oh yeah, maybe not. I only have for 1.
I also have it for 1.
See?
But then I have number 1 for 2.
I have level 2 for 2.
I have 1, 3, 2, 4.
Wait, do we have to write down
1,
why
2,
we
2,
think
2.
that specific level? How do you conjugate the verb? Hablo. Yo, hablo.
I don't like this, Mr.
No, like seriously though.
Yo
Like,
hablo.
right. So what level is that?
1?
Yeah. Right?
If I can think of it in my head, it's right?
Not all the way.
No?
I'm not explaining.
But just like you're recalling that.
Like it's
You can just, boom.
I'm just writing down the words and being like, I think it's this level because these words make sense. I don't think that's actually
Let's do, let's do like 3 more minutes. Just working through these questions and trying them out. Just try pairing them to a depth of knowledge.
What? I can feel you behind
You
me.
are, I'm actually reading this.
Oh.
This is not.
I just felt your presence.
I get that a lot.
We listen to the keys, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I want you
The silence is there. Is there a whistle?
to like. You never know. I'm a former Boy Scout, so.
Seriously? I think you need a whistle.
I have a whistle, I don't carry a whistle. I don't have a bullhorn. You want me to carry the bullhorn?
Yeah. Would that be scary walking down the hallway and you just hear that? Where's your airline?
I've worked in this. You don't want to attend this school like that.
I think you
So you weren't always a debater? You're not even alumni? Are you even
Alumni.
You don't believe
Not from this, not from this planet, though.
From the planet. I don't. Okay.
Katie, we want to try these?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm lost.
You're struggling?
Can we
Let's
share?
do the front. Let's do the
How do
front.
I have 3 level 2s?
What? Why would that not be possible?
Because you can argue for each other.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like,
I'm just putting my.
It just doesn't seem right.
okay, that's okay. It's okay to feel that.
I think one is level 3. Is it level 3?
I thought it was level 1.
Let's do the front page. Let's do the front page. Like, when I tell you guys, this, it's not easy, okay? If you're feeling like, oh, I'm struggling,
I'm
it's,
gonna throw something, madam.
Oh, no.
The teachers are doing this exactly. They too are having the same struggles that you have from time to time going, wait, I
Yeah.
said it was a 2. Well, I said it was a 3. Like, they debate this.
that's why this is awesome. Like, I'm challenging you for sure with this.
Your feelings are valid.
Yeah. So let's try. Let's try. 1 we noticed was recalling, okay? Let's look at 2. Explain how the Industrial Revolution changed the economy of the United States. Talk to the person next to you about what they got and why you said the level it is.
Does that make sense?
Because they're explaining.
Well, you could also say level 3.
Look at your charts. Are you overestimating what you're thinking this question is?
And you're like formulating a. Although I guess you could argue level 3 because of all the logical argument. Woohoo!
Okay. I like where you guys are thinking,
I said level 2.
but I think you're right.
What?
Level 2. Okay, here's why. Level 2. See, this the same girl who was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, right? Right? Level 2. Here's why. You are just explaining how the Industrial Revolution changed the economy of the United States. Is there some pretty, like, is that just a skill and a concept that you're just explaining? I heard somebody say, oh, well, you could develop a logical argument. Well, they're not asking you to, right?
Maybe you're comparing.
If it asks you to develop an argument of how the Industrial Revolution impacted the economy of the United States, then you could argue that it's 3, right? I think this one's tough, but level 2, okay?
So is it wrong if we put
Nothing's wrong.
Except if you put like.
Let's go to the next one, right? I'd write 2 on that one, though. Write 2 on that one. You're just explaining, right?
Will you count
You're
it
just
wrong?
inferring or category. No, I'm not gonna mark it off. This is like the process of this. Okay. Number 3, science. Name the 3 states of matter. Which one is this one?
Science.
What specific
oh.
matter?
I thought it was level 2.
I said level 2.
I put 2.
Classifying into.
Why is it 1? What are they doing?
One. Stating.
You're just listing. What number president was Abraham Lincoln? 16. Name the 3 states of matter.
solid gas, solid gas?
Boom. Right? It's the same idea. It's the same recalling method. So that's a 1. Okay. 4. This is asking you, what is the main theme of the novel To Kill a Mockingbird? Oh, one of the best.
Prove and analyzing.
I think it's 3.
Wait, no, I think it's 3.
What is the main theme of the novel To Kill a Mockingbird? Let's look at our chart here.
I completely forgot about that book.
I never read it.
I never read it.
Oh, it's the best.
I read it last semester.
That hurts my soul.
I know. You have to. It is just the best. Like Hatchet, obviously, but To Kill a Mockingbird also. Okay, here's this one. You're just finding the main theme of the novel. Stop over-analyzing this and being like, oh, well, I would argue that there's a main theme to the novel. and it's pretty cut and dry, okay? Where would you put that on this chart?
I said 4.
Three. I think it's 3 because 4 is more like applying it to yourself. Or like making your
Definitely not 4. I mean, think about our example of 4. We just gave that example, right? You can't list it as 4 because look at this. How do themes in Hatchet, such as isolation, self-discovery, and survival, apply to modern What is this question asking you?
Well, why does it say
How could you answer this question? Like, if this was on a piece of paper, could you answer that in a sentence?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
2?
That'll do 2.
So I got it right anyway. Oh my.
See? Let's go. Lily?
Summarize context clues.
Yes, right? That's literally summarizing. You're summarizing the theme of the book. Boom. Yeah. Lily, come on. Sorry, I'm getting fired up.
Have confidence.
Okay. Let's do one more together. I really like this one for foreign language. Notice that they're all different. Oh, I forgot. I actually forgot to mention, as we went through our notes, did you notice that each example was from a different subject? This one was English, the other one was social studies, math, and science. Anyway, sorry, getting too carried away. Foreign language. Now, you see foreign language and you freak out. You're like, oh my gosh, it's going to be really hard for me to conjugate. Oh, conjugate, that's scary. Like, oh my gosh. But if you're in Spanish class, yo hablo, right? What level on the chart is that? 1. Recall. You're just recalling, right? You learn that and it's boom, it's automatic. It's automatic. Okay? All right, let's just keep grinding through it. We're going to change plans for what we're going to... No, let's stop there. You're right. Okay, what do you want to do next time? That's my question. How do you feel with this, and what do you want to do next time?
Like next class, I'm gonna go over it.
Let's have our next class solely in Spanish, just so that we can know what, so we can use cognitive thinking.
What should we do with this?
We can turn it in. Turn it in.
Let's not turn it in. I don't think we should turn it in. Put it inside your packet.
Oh, yeah.
I think we should just go through the next couple together, and then the following class, or maybe after we go through this one together, maybe we go through some different examples, or maybe then you try it on your own. I was originally going to have you do this and work with partners and all sorts of stuff like that. Throw both of those sheets into the center of that. So then I always would ask you guys at the end is like, did we achieve the objective for today? Usually we're like, yeah, we killed the objective for today. We really did that. But guess what? It's teaching. We'll look at the objective and kind of finish that and get better at that objective next time. Drop those off on the way out. Peace, Braylon. Great work today, y'all. Oh, you can unbuckle. Unbuckle on your way out. That's it. Unbuckling. I'm out. Peace, y'all. Happy Wednesday? Wednesday. That 3-day weekend messed me up.
It was grilled cheese and tomato soup today for lunch.
Grilled cheese and tomato soup. We love it.
And on Friday, guess what's gonna be?
Great work.
Baked potato.
I was too close to 10 on Monday.
Peace. Why? Oh, yeah, it's a little scary. Bye, Wilco. Bye, Chase. Bye, Kaylee.
As always, sir.